Hello everybody, hope you're doing okay. Welcome to Lee Valley Athletics Centre. I've come here to run a 1500 in the Veterans Open meeting. Right, I've got about 40 minutes to go to my race, so did a little warm up, do a few strides. We'll try this sort of longer stride again today. See if I can get anywhere near 5 minutes today. I haven't done 5:02 for the 1500 split on Wednesday in the mile race when I did 5:25. Alright, see you later then. Okay, I left my camera just past the 1500 metres start and I've got the Dragonfly spikes on today. So here's my first 150 metre opener stride, just probably a bit slower than race pace, but tip from Jamie to get a bit of a longer strides, and I walked back and then did another one, same again pretty much. And then here's the start of the A race. There was seeded A, B and C races, so these were the fastest runners. And while that race was going on, I did my last 100 metre stride, again about sort of good pace. The A race was eventually won in 4:33, so they did about 72, 73 a lap here. I think I would have been last in the A race, so I was definitely in the right race, maybe another time. And here they come through again. It's a very close race actually. With 300 metres to go, there's still 4 in contention. Paul Jegu was the guy that eventually won 3:41. And Laura Street there doing very well as well. Right, here's my race then. I've zoomed in a bit here. I'm on the inside. Steve Roberts is next to me. He will prove to be running together, as you'll see in a minute. So off we go. Not too fast a start, and then after a lap I was tucked in nicely behind Steve Roberts, who was doing an ideal pace, just under 80 seconds a lap, so at 78. And here we go at 1/10 speed. Nicely tracked in. There wasn't much wind at all actually today, and it was sort of nicely warm without being too warm, too cold. Here's the chasing pack led by Malcolm Davis. And then here we go with 800 metres in. I'm still tucked in nicely behind, a nice pace there, about another 80 lap there, so for about 2:38 I think. And here's us in slow motion. I'm just edging out a bit there, wondering if I ought to be getting past, but I'm sort of tucked in, sort of. Perhaps could be better protected there, but I always like to be a bit on the edge of the leader. And here comes the chasing pack. Got quite a good gap now. And then you can hear the lap to go, and then here we come. I'm still tracking Steve Roberts, but at this point I'm going to start making my move. You can just about see me starting to accelerate there, and in slow motion it's just about coming into about here when I'm trying to just slightly put a bit of a spurt on, see if I can kick away. I probably got about a second gap with about 200 metres to go, and I held it for the 100 metres, and then I did wobble a bit with 50 metres to go. I really tied up, but the arms and the legs were not really responding, but got there in the end. And here's the chasing pack, still led by Malcolm Davis with David Bedwell behind. And it was actually an M70 British record by David Oxland, little I didn't know at the time.
In the second 1500 metres.
And here's my result.
4 minutes 56.61 seconds.
So yeah, excellent. 4:56 winning time. But days of old. Stayed with the leader to about 300 to go. Kicked down back straight. Maybe went a bit early because I sort of tied up with 50 metres to go. But yeah, I take that for sure. I'm out 6 seconds faster than Wednesday. I think sometimes you just need to have 2 races like that back to back. Just get used to them. I did a few sort of hour easy-ish runs. Maybe I overcooked it a bit because yesterday I had a day off because I felt really tired, but knowing this was a morning race, no chance for a line today. But yeah, great conditions. It wasn't much wind at all. Maybe just felt it a bit somewhere, but yeah, I take that. So I think it was always under 80 seconds. 2 second last lap I would have needed to break 5. So yeah, great stuff. How was it, Malcolm?
Tough actually. Yeah, I sort of thought I'm not going to try and go with you, and then I was sort of third the whole way round, and I got sort of pipped on the line.
I saw you were isolated on Wednesday as well, weren't you?
I was very isolated, yeah.
You really need to sort of get out pot luck with these ones, don't you? To get a good,
you know,
yeah.
It's like a joy.
I had an ideal because Steve was pacing it exactly the pace I wanted to go at. So I thought, right, sit behind him until see if I can hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Which is what I want.
Yeah. We'll probably, if Jean Galbraith would be here.
Yeah, she'd be kicking herself now because she said, "Oh, let's get together and try a sub 5," and she's done a 5.2, a 5.3, a 5.4.
Right, yeah.
Today was possibly the day, but
I think so because conditions weren't bad.
She said she had some function on, so
right. Yeah.
didn't think it was like to turn up.
Yeah.
Anyway, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
See you the next one. You're doing the 5K at Wimbledon, Saturday.
No, I'm doing the Vets AC.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll skip that one. I thought I can't race everything. I'm not Terry, and I can't do everything. Yeah, well done.
I recognise the noise of your shoes because I run with people with your shoes.
Oh, really?
They make a hell of a clop.
Yeah, they because of the ZoomX, I think, but they're sort of spongy. Yeah, I mean, well, the last 15 I didn't manage more than a lap, so.
Anyway, well done,
good. Yeah, and you. Cheers. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, I paced you nicely then.
It was very nice pace making. I was thinking he's going exactly the pace I want to go, just under 5-minute pace, and then I thought I'll push on with 300 to go, but then I got about 200 to go. I thought, oh shit, I've run out of legs now. And then he's going to come by.
Well, you know,
those there to be had.
I did think if I hold it, he might daft, but you know, I was going flat out, so I thought. I've got a sprint finish, but
it's one of those things that the arms are going, the legs are going. Didn't see much forward movement. The line eventually came, but yeah. Oh, well done. Anyway, see you on the next one.
Yeah, nice one.
Cheers. Hello everybody, a bit of a postscript. It's the Run for the Wreck, which is the virtual equivalent of the Claygate Country 5, which is the 5-mile race that I do every year around my country lanes and roads around here. So it's the last day and almost the last sort of hour of daylight left. So got to beat about 33.50 to beat the fastest M50 time, which normally wouldn't be too bad even though the race this morning, but the problem is that the course is absolutely waterlogged. So I've decided to trash a pair of these next percents. These are my oldest pair. I'm not sure that next percents are going to be the ideal solution, but I couldn't think of anything that would be actually sort of ideal for a bit of road, bit of mud. So I'm hoping I'm just about to stay upright. So I think what I'll do is I'll hit the roader sections a bit harder and maybe sort of skirt my way through the mud. I think probably the best though is route 1 through the middle. At least for these next percents, they do offer a bit of water protection, so I'm hoping the mud will just sort of slip off. And God knows what they're like, but they are quite light. I haven't really got anything lighter. I mean, the problem is with something like the Solomon S-Led Pulse that I've got, it's not great traction, and it's not waterproof at all. So even though it's slightly lighter, I don't think it would actually be that much better. I've got some Adidas shoes that I've worn, but they're a bit heavier, and I've got a pair of the Adidas Speed Pro, I think, which is a 4mm drop one, but I haven't actually worn that one yet, and I don't think it'd be that great on the road. So I'm going to wait to give that one another day and not trash them straight away. Right, let's go jog up to the wreck and we'll get this done, and then we'll report back to see how muddy I am. Okay, how am I looking? Oh, perhaps as muddy as I thought. Okay, mission accomplished. I did 32.32 for the 5 very, very muddy miles. Perhaps it wasn't quite as muddy as I thought, but it was very wet. So one of those sort of cross-country type runs where the best route is just straight through the middle. Trying to tiptoe through the side just loses you a lot of time, and it's probably more dangerous actually. So yeah, and bizarrely actually the next percent works quite well actually, because I think they're light, so they don't really take on too much water, and there's about 2 miles of road section in that. So when you actually get onto the road, you really feel the benefit. If you're wearing a trail shoe, you just feel totally dead on those roads and probably lose about 10 seconds a mile, I think. So yeah, I kept up quite a nice pace. The first mile is probably the easiest because you sort of swoop down a big hill, obviously off road, and then sort of look at my splits actually. So there we go, the first mile is 6:17, and a 6:22 is kind of flattish but goes on a trail, gets a bit muddy. 6:20 has a bit of road on it and a bit of trail. 6:51's the slowest. You go back through the woods, it's slightly uphill and it's all off road, so that's definitely the slowest. And the last mile, although it's slightly uphill, is all on the road, so it's all out. 6:25 there, and I think it was a little bit more. Yeah, I just got it just a little bit extra on the end there. So it's a nominal 5 miles. Sometimes people get it 5 miles, sometimes a bit over. So yeah, considering I raced this morning, I was well chuffed with that actually. It felt quite strong. I think one of those runs where you decide not to go too cavalier. Ollie Garrod had gone and run a 29-minute low earlier on, so I knew there's no chance of beating him. But the guy in second was about 32.50, and then my real target was the guy in M50 who'd run about 33.50. So I figured I could try for second place, and if I was off pace or didn't feel great, I had the benchmark of the third place and the M50 prize. So yeah, job done. Unless no one else has slipped out for a last-minute run, it's probably about half an hour of daylight before you couldn't see where you were going, and it would be rather muddy in those woods in the dark of the head torch. So yeah, right, I've got to go and submit my time. I'm actually doing the results, so you're probably going to go and fix it. But I had 2 watches on to verify as well. So yeah, so that's good fun. Hopefully next year we'll do a proper race, and I had 7 wins in this one, but not since 2005. People like Ollie are far too quick for me these days, but M50 prize is still on offer, depending who turns up. There's quite a few good M50s around here as well, but maybe they won't do anything today. Anyway, 2 races in a day. That's the first time I've done that for some years, and both very good ones, so pleased with that. This sort of mileage background, not doing too much speed, just piling on the miles, seems to be working quite well. So that's good. Hope you found it interesting then. See you next one, and like and subscribe and all that, and bye.
Nice.